Week 4. Welcome to October.
It doesn't matter what you do. It's about winning. And we were able to do that today.
He's got it from 59 yards away.
The Ravens offense delivers the miracle.
Welcome to NFL Primetime, delivered by Papa John's.
Hi, everybody, and welcome into another edition of NFL Primetime, Week 4 style. So glad you're here with us. Trey Wingo alongside Merrill Hodge and Trent Dilfer. So much to get to, so many things, some, quite frankly, that happened Sunday that were unexplainable. We'll get to those a little bit later, but we wrap up Week 4 with a great AFC East showdown on Monday Night Football. The New England Patriots in Miami, where they have struggled over the years, taking on the Miami Dolphins. And for more on that, let us check in with Susie Colbert. And Susie, we know that Patriot offense is clicking, highest scoring offense in the league. The defense for New England, that's another story.
That's right, and remember that the Dolphins' Wildcat offense was born against the Patriots right here 2 years ago, and it's still giving that Patriot nightmares. Defensive tackle Vince Wilfork told us when they put that package out there, you have to be alert and ready for anything, and he's convinced Miami will come up with something new. If you go to sleep on the quarterback, then the quarterback will run a 9 route. And by the way, Chad Henne was very proud to display for us his wide receiver stance on the scrimmage. But Wilfork said he still sees that package as a threat, but he is confident that even though this defense is young, they can handle it.
All right, Susie, thank you. Merrill, let's talk about this defense here, because you could make the case, not in a bad way, that this is a team divided. The Patriots offense clicking on all cylinders, which we'll get to with you in a second.
Different levels, yes.
But what we're talking about with this defense is it seems like certain times they get it and certain times they look a little confused.
Well, Susie mentioned that they were young, and when you have a lot of young guys working together, people will talk about, well, in 5 or 6 weeks they're going to be really good. That may be the case, but right now they struggle. They struggle with their assignments, and fundamentally they struggle. And teams take advantage of that. You know, just when you think of just where you are in a zone coverage concept, the underneath defender, we have 3 wide receivers coming to you. You're responsible for number 1. Well, he goes vertical. Now, if somebody comes back inside, you got to let him go, because you have other guys who will carry him, and you got to be in your responsibility in your zone coverage. But if you get caught up running with the vertical guy and they run somebody else in, you give big voids in your zone coverage. Now, just the fundamentals of defending the run. Boy, you got to take that fullback on with your inside shoulder, keeping your right arm free so you can keep contained. If you keep the running back in the hole, you got a free linebacker, no gain. They make a lot of these errors, these fundamental errors and these mental errors, and they get big plays. Buffalo got big plays on them. Miami will get big plays on them. But if they can correct those things, the fundamental issues, the mental issues, which obviously experience will help them do that, they'll be fine. But when you now throw the Wildcat with all the other things that they may learn tonight, there's going to be mental errors and fundamental errors tonight.
So if that's going to be a problem for the defense, Trent, it's imperative for that Patriot offense to score points, and we have certainly seen that they were going to be.
Well, what did Bill Belichick always want as a coach? Versatile teams, right? And they weren't that way last year on offense. This year on offense, unbelievably versatile, the ability to score a lot of points. They do it because they have multiple players, the tight end packages. They can line up in and they can do a lot of different things offensively. 3 tight ends, right? Looks like run, smells like run. Well, it's run, but it's end around run to Hernandez, an explosive athlete in open space, an ability to get chunk yardage from 3 tight end set. Now it's still 3 tight ends, but this is a spread formation, empty backfield. That's why there's no pass rush. Those defensive linemen are in run gear. That's why Hernandez can open up late down the football field, another chunk yardage. Now you line up in the 3 tight ends. Merrill will love this, and it's power football. Pull the guard, get up inside, create an alley, and let your runner get in there. And then 3 tight ends down in the red zone. Motion, looks like run, but guess who you forgot? Maybe the most explosive weapon ever in the National Football League, Randy Moss. So you stick the ball in there, show a little play fake, and give it to Randy Moss in the back end. These 3 tight end packages, guys, I'll tell you, this is the best Patriots offense I've ever seen in terms of versatility.
And because Aaron Hernandez, when you think of you got to defend Welker, you just mentioned Moss. you can't double everybody.
Right.
I mean, it's a real issue for the Miami Dolphins tonight on who to double at what time.
Not only Hernandez,
Hernandez,
but also Gronkowski. Both of these guys have shown flashes of brilliance so far. And you mentioned the onus is going to be on that Miami defense, which struggled a little bit with the tight ends we saw last Sunday night with Dustin Keller and the New York Jets. And now you have Tom Brady and this offense coming to town. For the latest on what's ahead of the Miami defense tonight, let's go back to Miami and check in with Michelle Tafoya.
Well, hey, Trey, under new defensive coordinator Mike Nolan, Miami's defense is tied for 10th in the NFL in scoring defense. That's through 3 weeks. Linebacker Carlos Dansby, who spent 6 seasons in Arizona, says Nolan's defense has re-energized him and he can't get enough of it. Now, according to Dansby, the defensive priorities tonight are to stop the run, and stop the run. And of course, they've prepared for Tom Brady and that no-huddle offense he ran so effectively in last week's second half against Buffalo. Now, Dansby tells us they worked overtime in practice on Saturday and that they've, quote, got something for Brady tonight. But Trey, he wouldn't tell us just what that is.
Michelle will have to watch the game tonight and find out. The Dolphins and the Patriots, especially in Miami, where the Patriots are just 4-5 since 2001. Meanwhile, the Steelers have completed their Ben Roethlisberger-free portion of their schedule with a 3-1 record, including a heartbreaking loss Sunday in Pittsburgh to the Baltimore Ravens. But Ben is now back. The Steelers go into their bye week. He has served their suspension. He will be their quarterback when they play a home game a week from the following Sunday when they take on the Cleveland Browns. But just a few moments ago, Ben Roethlisberger speaking inside the Steelers facility for the first time since his suspension began.
Well, first off, it's good to be back here at the facility, especially with my teammates. Getting to see coaches and be around my teammates, and I'm just excited to get back and get focused on football and focus on this year and trying to get to Dallas. And I'll take questions now if anyone has any.
What did you learn over the last 4 weeks?
I hate being away from football. How much you appreciate meetings and practice and being around the guys, and just how hard it was to be away from them mostly.
How were you as a viewer of the games when you were watching the games? What emotions?
I have no fingernails left. It was hard. It really was to watch them at home, and it was on the edge of my chair. I tried to keep busy, watching, standing up, sitting down. So it was tough, but it was fun watching them win.
Ben, what did you do to keep ready your routine during the week?
Worked out a lot. I worked out for 2.5 hours, longer than I would be if I was out here practicing. Threw more balls than I would have if I was here. So just really stayed focused with George, my quarterback coach, and working on footwork, techniques, throwing, things like that.
Lift, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
All right, so now in a week from this coming Sunday, we'll find out if that work pays off for Ben. When we continue, we'll show you what happened in the last game for the Steelers without Roethlisberger as Flacco rose to the challenge. Wait a minute, I think the Bears have just had their quarterbacks sacked again by the Giants. What went wrong for the previously unbeaten Bears? And just how hurt is Michael Vick? And what to make of the Eagles now as Donovan triumphant in his return to Philly?
NFL Primetime is delivered by PapaJohns.com. Just a click of the mouse, Papa's in the house. And in part by Ford F-Series, America's best-selling brand of trucks for 33 years straight. Built Ford Tough.
Monday Night Football live on ESPN America. Week 4 kicks off with an AFC East showdown. Division rivals square off as Brady and the Patriots head south. The battle Ricky Williams and the Miami Dolphins. Coverage starts tonight at 0100 CET with Monday NFL Countdown. Monday Night Football live on ESPN America, home of the NFL.
I'm so sore. We're gonna get at 6 o'clock again tomorrow.
I just want to go to bed. I'm so tired.
Guys, hey, can you try that?
Yeah, sure.
Go, Rebels!
Thanks.
No problem. No problem.
Don't we always have it? Yeah, that's true. So let's have it off tomorrow?
Oh my God. Knock me over with a feather.
I think we'll see that one more time.
Oh, I don't believe it.
He sold that one pretty well.
Oh my, oh my.
To NFL Primetime, delivered by Papa John's.
Welcome back to Primetime. Trey Wingo here with Merrill Hodge and Trent Dilfer. Okay, guys, so Sunday, the Eagles' all-time leader in every major statistical category for a quarterback strode onto the field at the Link, except he was wearing an opposing uniform. Donovan McNabb and the Washington Redskins in town, and hey, got to give it up for the Philly fans. They gave him a standing ovation before the game. And then things on. First quarter, play fake, McNabb with all kinds of time, and he's got Fred Davis what?
Oh, lead him down the field.
Oh, but he's got to keep running now. Fred Davis has to keep his shoulder pads aimed out.
All got away
So
from
in other words,
no
Fred Davis
way.
needs to learn how to run a route like Chris Cooley.
Yeah, shoulder
tight end
pads,
right there.
face it downfield. I love it.
Kind of throw.
Beautiful throw. He makes a beautiful throw because the tight end sets an angle. He can change speeds, trajectory. That was gorgeous.
14-0 Redskins at this point. McNabb airing it out here to Anthony Armstrong, who dove that silly 17-yard line. Redskins would get a field goal to 17-3. McNabb was okay, 8 of 19, $125 a pick in the score. But then here's where everything changes. Michael Vick running, and show me the Redskin sandwich. Ow, ow, ow.
This was the real danger of his ability to run. Eventually, you're going to take some shots you just can't handle.
Rib cartilage injury. His status for next week's game is unsure. So Kevin Cobb, this was the plan all along. It would be Cobb against McNabb and the Redskins. Donovan doing his part, and Kevin, no, that one's almost intercepted by Kareem Moore. All right, late third quarter. Trent, you got to have pocket presence, right?
Yep. This comes because you don't have the reps. That time clock in your head just isn't sharp, and you're not making plays like that.
The Eagles would recover. It went down to this. They're down 17-12, 5 points, and they need to get something going. Lucky that one wasn't picked off by Carlos Rogers. So now it's a 4th and 10, 13 ticks. Got to try some trickeration here. Deshaun Jackson with the lateral, and then another one, and then they pick up the first down.
Love that.
So they're alive. They got hope. Huddle up. Let's get it going.
Fucking Moreeeee.
And here it is. Cobb does his part, puts it in the end zone, and Jason Avant is there.
Oh, and he has it.
He had it in his hands. In his hands.
It'd have been a ridiculous catch.
It would have been. It would have been, but it falls, and McNabb walks out a winner. The final score, 17-12. The Redskins take the Eagles in Philadelphia. So as it turns out, guys, it was the matchup everybody was looking for in April, just not the way everybody was looking for it in April. But now you have the issue of what the Eagles are going to do. Listen, it's not a broken rib for Michael Vick, but that's not really good news because cartilage sometimes takes longer to heal than bones. They say he's unsure for Sunday's game against San Francisco. What do you see?
Well, and I think that's how it will be for several weeks. I've broken my ribs and I've had rib cartilage. The broken ribs healed a lot quicker and I was able to play faster than with rib cartilage. Rib cartilage is just so difficult. It hurts to blink, it hurts to breathe, it hurts to sneeze, it hurts to live. So it's going to be several weeks before he is really able to start getting back and throwing the football. It could be at least a minimum of 2 weeks before he can really throw a ball actively.
Yeah, and I want to look at how this is going to look for the Philadelphia Eagles because they played a certain type of football with Michael Vick at quarterback, a vertical passing game, the ability to push the ball down the football field and push it down there accurately. With Kevin Kolb, it's going to be a little bit of a different story. He's more of a possession passer. So if you look at Michael Vick, look at the explosive element in his game. He checks 2 receivers, but he throws this dime down the sideline to Jeremy Maclin. Push the ball, speed down the football field. Once again, off his back foot, the go route. Notice these throws outside the numbers. That's where the big explosive plays come in the National Football League. Kevin Kolb, more of a possession passer. He wants to work the middle of the field, middle triangle throws, possession passer, get completions. Nice plays here. The first one on this one in the red zone. But when you look at these two players and you look at how the Philadelphia Eagles play offense, really last year they morphed into a more explosive team with Donovan McNabb and now this year with Michael Vick. You look at the numbers, Kevin Kolb, the number to look out there is outside the numbers, 4.6 per attempt, opposed to Michael Vick, 10.1. That is a huge difference in yards per attempt when you're talking about how a quarterback plays. And every quarterback has a certain DNA. They're going to play the game a certain way. Kevin Kolb, more possession. Michael Vick, Donovan McNabb last year, more explosive. It's going to be interesting how they package all this, Merrill, together and create a stable offense.
You know, one thing that's consistent with those numbers, they're throwing the football.
Yep.
So that's not going to change. It's maybe how they throw it will be a little different. Once Vick became the starter, a lot more shotgun. And when you do that and you put him in the shotgun, it puts an enormous burden on the defense because of his ability to run the football and on the perimeter. Trent's already showed you his vertical ability to push the ball down the field. It also helps that. And that's what they did. That's why Washington came into that game yesterday, not letting Deshaun Jackson get anything deep on them, taking that away and trying to contain Vick. Well, Kolb, you heard the strengths that Trent mentioned about. They'll change formations and to help him push the ball down the field. 2 tight ends, 1 back. More some run action. Ball down the field with him. Now he can step up in the pocket, and because of the rhythm and timing was off, his reps, his injury, they weren't there. But in the games that he started last year, they ran these kind of plays, and he was successful with them. He completed them. Once he gets a full week of work with the first back together, he'll complete those kind of passes, but the formations will change a little bit to take advantage of what he does well versus what Vick did well.
All right, so right now, 4 weeks into the season, there is not a single team in the NFC East with a winning record. So if I asked you the biggest winner Sunday in that division, who is it?
No brainer, Dallas Cowboys. They got to sit back and see all these average teams play. They're in a good spot.
So the Cowboys, the big winner, according to Trent, by not playing a game. Well, the Giants had to play, and they brought in a team that was the perfect time for them to play, I guess. That would be the Chicago Bears. Jay Cutler and company came in 3-0, but boy, I tell you what, the defense basically said, none shall pass. They went and they got Jay Cutler early and often. That's OCU Minora. Hold on, there's more coming. Trust me. Play action, Chris Canty, thank you very much. And it would continue. Flex if you must. Second quarter, Cutler sprinting. Oh, bang, Minora. One more time. Got right by Greg Olsen to create the issue here. They were all over him all night, guys.
Yep, and what we're seeing here is all the offensive line issues, protection issues. Not much Jay Cutler can do about this, but at some point, as we'll see later, you got to stop the bleeding as a quarterback.
Well, keep an eye on Barry Cofield here, and he just says, I'm coming in, and there's nothing you can do about it.
That's just awful. There's no other way to describe. There's no way.
It's a double team.
It really
you
is
should get
bad.
that bad that quickly in the NFL.
Yeah, and then
Never.
That should never happen ever, by the way, also.
Whatever drum string that was, or electric guitar.
Let's be clear.
I don't know.
Justin Tuck saying, Caleb Haney, you're the third stringer. It doesn't matter, okay? It doesn't matter who's coming in there.
Count your sacks.
Yeah, there were 10 in this game. And Jay Cutler, though, had all kinds of issues here, Trent.
Exactly. That guy talked about all those we saw were the offensive line. Now that's Jay Cutler. He's taken too many hitches up. You got to stop the bleeding, get rid of the football. The quarterback does play a big role in protecting his offensive lineman as well.
Again, he's got plenty of time here, right?
He does. Anytime you see quarterback should be guaranteed one hitch. That's mean get to the top of your drop, step up one time. You should be guaranteed that. Any more is not a guarantee.
And we should point out what you're looking at here is Cutler before he went out of the game with a concussion. So this was not when he might have been a little foggy here.
And then you run out of bounds.
Never came back after that.
And that's a selfish play right there. You don't run out of bounds to lose yards. It's a negative play for your offensive line.
Well, that offensive line was negative from the start to finish, and at times, as you can see here, Cutler certainly didn't help. And then here is the last play here. It's the corner blitz.
Yeah, you do have your offensive line sliding that way, so they do have to make that account. 3 to 4, and they have to see that all together. Not an easy thing, but they got to see it.
And that was the sack where Cutler suffered the concussion. Giants win it 17-3. when we continue here on NFL Primetime. The Saints that we've seen so far this year, not the Saints that won the Super Bowl, but someone says everything is fine, nothing to worry about. Saints and Falcons played last week, and they had identical matching scores against different opponents this week.
There's only one running back today. The general has spoken. Chris Johnson, you heard me?
Believe that.
Johnson picking his way forward. He's out the back door. He's met in the hole, breaks the tackle, and goes in for a touchdown, Titans. Try to just sneak in the VIP and chill with the big faces. They don't really see them changes when the fame hit. When I'm up on the stage, they sing it. As soon as I step off, they hate it. And I'm saying, I really ain't with that complaining. Just look at the picture I'm painting. Yeah, I pay my rent, vacation, then take trips all around the equator, then come back to the A, hit the stage again. Then I go up in the booth where they cage me in. Harris into the end zone, touchdown, Carter. He will go again. 5 touchdowns.
Into the end zone it goes. Yes, touchdown.
Rolls right. Pressure coming. Throws. Middleton got it. He scores. Cartwheels in the air. Lands on his feet. A touchdown. Popular. Everybody wanna be popular. Watching us through binoculars, and then they go to school and copy us. But hey, I'm not knocking you, but how can y'all not see? It's obvious, 'cause cops just be plotting on us and paparazzi be spotting us. 'Cause hey, do you wanna be famous? Everywhere you go, people know what your name is. Everyone you know trying to tell you you're changing. They wanna taste that.
New Orleans, Sean Payton and company had some issues with the Panthers. Third quarter, the Panthers trailed 10-7. D'Angelo Williams says, I'm not going to the right. There are way too many people over there. Cuts it back the other way in a 39-yard touchdown. Merrill Hodge, I ask you through ESPN Access, how did this happen?
The value of pressing the hole. When a runner presses the hole, look how he pulls the defenders over to where he's running. You see that? Then you can get the cutback. Then you can get a seal here, Trey.
And a seal there.
A seal there, Trent.
And an alley.
Another block there, and now you dig somebody out of the hole and you're in the alley. That is what we call excellent running, patience, and pulling defenders over into the hole and then doing the
That's still the best touchdown
windmill.
That's what me and you do after the show.
14-10. Yeah, you never invite me, which I'm upset about.
Oh,
Fourth quarter, Saints trail 14-13. David Thomas over the middle, gain of 16 and a first down. Later in the drive, this is a really good catch. Really good catch. Another first down. Well, and then Liddell Betts. See, this is where the running game is an issue. Comes in for a loss of 6 there, so they're forced to settle for a field goal. Come on, John Carney. 46-year-olds in America. Yes! Puts it in. The Saints lead 16-14. He was 3 for 3. Jimmy Clausen warming up. I got a chance, is what they're saying. I got a chance. So with 1:53 left, 4th and 4, Clausen rolling, and this is a great throw. A great throw to David Gaddis.
Footwork. Do we get to see the footwork?
Yes.
Yes, look at that. One foot down.
Just because you asked for
it. Yeah. Because otherwise that would not have happened.
Nope.
We can do things that fast.
Thanks, Rob.
Now there's John Casey warming up. Career-long 56-yard field goal, Trent.
And this is why the Saints are okay, because they
Boom.
make plays in critical moments. Panthers driving to kick the field goal. Saints come up back-to-back big plays to get them out of field goal range. Opportunistic football team.
All right, so a loss of 4. They're now out of realistic field goal range. 4th and 16. You know what? You got to make something happen. Give Clausen credit. He let his receiver have a play at the ball.
Yeah, I threw it early, too. It's anticipation. Jarrett's got to make that play.
Dwayne Jarrett did not. John Fox says, really? And Saints win it 16-14. Look, you can say it isn't, but something is amiss. Through 4 games last season, the Saints were exploding on offense. 36 points, over 400 yards a game. This year, New Orleans averaging 16 fewer points and 70 fewer yards, Trent, through 4 weeks.
Can't argue with the numbers, but the one thing the numbers don't show is that they're still winning football games with their C stuff. It's like a pitcher winning with nothing but off-speed junk. They're winning without their A game. That's an important thing.
You're drinking the Kool-Aid, baby.
Absolutely.
The most important numbers are 3 and 1. Okay, so what about the team that beat them last week? That would be the Atlanta Falcons after that overtime big win. Now home for Mike Singletary and the 49ers, and things have not gone well for them. Oh, they're going to get a block punt. And take a look at Taylor Mays. Toe tap, comes in for the touchdown, and immediately after doing this, he called Pete Carroll.
Yeah, and what awareness, though.
Yes.
To secure the ball and get both feet down at the back of the end zone. Amazing play.
All right, now Matt Ryan trying to get something done, and that instead is picked up by Shante Spencer's. Takeo Spikes tips it. Falcons drive over. Third quarter, Falcons trailing 14-10. Travis, holla at your boy, takes down Matt Ryan from behind. Falcons are held to a field goal.
Holla.
Oh, if only people could see the look Trent just gave me. And then Nate Clements. This is the good Nate Clements. 6-yard loss. That drive would end in a punt. Here's better Nate Clements. An interception with only 1:30 left. He's going to sit down and they're going to wait a minute. Roddy White comes out of nowhere, and somehow the Falcons get the ball back. Talk about hustle play.
Roddy White, this may propel your season when you see this kind of effort. And when the ball is low, carry too flat, Roddy White takes advantage of that, knocks it out for Clemens. Atlanta gets the ball back. New life.
Yeah, and if you're thinking, I've seen this before, you are correct. How about last year in October? That's Matt Ryan picked up Dre Bly, who starts the primetime dance way too early. And there's Roddy White again. Comes up and strips him, comes up with a fumble. An amazing effort 2 years in a row against the same team, different player, by Roddy White.
Don't you think the Niners should have learned from last year?
Well, that is the process. You don't make the same mistake again.
That was a big time throw, right?
Feed Roddy White there, 20-yard gain. 2 plays later, listen, it's working again for Roddy White. 8 yards, tough catch, gets it going, so they're in field goal range. So now with 7 seconds left, this is the only time during the game in which the Falcons had the lead and when it mattered most. And just like that, it is a 16-14 win. Singletary's Niners 0-4. Still coming here on NFL Primetime, Peyton and David Garrard. Advantage Garrard, perhaps with a little help. And they were oh so close to a 4-0 Roethlisberger-free start in Pittsburgh until they weren't.
Hi, Steve Young here. Watch Monday Night Countdown all season long here on ESPN America.
There's something unusual about Clay Marzo, a condition that could make him either the greatest professional surfer ever or ultimately derail his career. 20-year-old Clay Marzo is a 2-time amateur champion and one of the top young surfers in the world.
I was pretty blown away when I started seeing him surf. He's doing stuff that, maybe no one else can do.
Marzo got his very own surfboard when he was 8 years old. But about that same time, Marzo's parents noticed that there was something different about him.
He was a little bit like, huh?
And talk to the teachers, and they would say to me, he's a good boy, but he's not there. People were trying to make him fit in this mold to be a professional athlete, PR, the whole thing, and he wouldn't do it.
I always feel uncomfortable talking with people. What was that question again?
After almost a decade of searching, on December 11th, 2007, the Marzos finally got their answer. Clay Marzo was diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome.
I got on the internet that night, reluctantly, just to look it up. And I had chicken skin, I was in tears. I knew that was it. I knew immediately.
And I never got tired, so my dad started calling me AD for all day, and it stuck with me ever since.
I like that, AD, all day.
Yeah, so what's your nickname around here?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't really have a nickname. Pretty much just call me Scott.
All day, what's up?
Same.
Hey, bedwetter.
Guys are always clowning, you know.
Bedwetter.
Told you that in confidence. Johnny, go ahead and get this fax out. All right.
Sports Center, weekdays at 0700 CET on ESPN America.
Welcome back to Primetime. I'm Susie Colber in Miami with this team report on the Patriots. Bill Belichick tells us they've gotten more production out of their tight ends in just 3 games than they did all of last season. And Tom Brady raves about his 3 new weapons, beginning with rookie Aaron Hernandez, who leads the team in receiving yards, and Brady says is a rare talent with exceptional quickness after the catch. Another rookie, Rob Gronkowski, says truly knows how to use his big body. And the veteran, Algie Crumpler, so underrated, has changed the philosophy of their tight ends, taking pride in the block. Now back to Primetime.
A turning point for both teams, perhaps. The Ravens in Pittsburgh taking on the Steelers, trying to go 4-0 without Big Ben. Joe Flacco and company looking for their first win in Pittsburgh since 2006. Late first quarter, Charlie Batch. Boy, he's done everything they've wanted him to do. Oh, Antoine Randall, come on! And that led to a touchdown. Trent, this is what you want your receiver to do?
This is what you're looking for. Little guys playing big on the perimeter. Way to time out the jump and snag it out of the air.
So the touchdown by Mendenhall put him up 7-0, but here comes Willis McGahee right up the gut to tie the score. We're tied at 7. Move to the third quarter, it's 10-7 Ravens. 2nd and 10. McGahee runs right, but this is what the Steelers do, and this is what the Ravens have done. They came in tied for the worst turnover differential in the league. It's a fumble picked up by Lawrence Timmons. Ravens turn it over in their own territory. So Jeff Reed, it's a 49-yarder, Trent. 49, pretty long.
So I'm not killing him?
No.
I'm going to wait till the next one.
Okay, good point. No good. John Harbaugh is fired up. Later in the third, Ravens at their own 17, Joe Flacco. Again, this is the problem they've had all year. Picked off by Ike Taylor. Another Ravens turnover in their own territory. But again, they can't get the offense going. So here comes Jeff Reed for a 45-yarder. Manageable more.
Yeah, this one you should make.
That one didn't.
I'll keep it at that.
Okay. So they had 2 chances to either tie or take the lead, and Flacco's back on the field.
Make them both.
Yes, Jeff Reed has made a lot of big kicks for them. Did not make either one of those. All right, fourth quarter, it's still 10-7. 3rd and 10, and that's the longest completion on 3rd down against the Ravens D all year, a gain of 16. Later in the drive, 2nd and 4, Menden. Oh, get to the corner, and you betcha. It's a 7-yard score. Steelers take a 14-10 lead. But here come the Ravens back. 2nd and 8, the Steelers 19 to Todd Heap, the tight end, and he gets free for the first down. It's 1st and goal as the clock is running. Move to 3rd and goal. Flacco looking for Derek Mason. That's perfect defense.
Yeah, it was a great defense. Gay did a great job. See his left hand, he gets his off eventually, reaches around, and you know what, knocks the ball down. Perfect.
Because if you wrap with that left arm, they're
going to see
PI
it
every time.
Yeah, you got that right.
4th and goal, they go for it, and no goal as once again William Gay is big. Anquan Bolden can't get there. They turn it over on downs, but they were pinned deep. Steelers went conservative, so that gave the Ravens one last chance. And Flacco right there to newly acquired TJ Hushmanzada out of bounds, 37 seconds left. Next play, 1st and 10 from the 18, and there it is. One more time to Hushmanzada. Touchdown with 32 seconds left. Ray Lewis is pumped up as they take the lead. What happened here?
Absolute thing of beauty. Look from the end zone. Todd Heap comes across the formation, picks up Troy Polamalu, allowing Joe Flacco to step in the throw, and look at the double move. They set this up earlier. The out, the head nod, get up inside. Now this is only good if that ball has speed on it and is thrown early. Great throw.
17-14, they make up for the turnovers. They win in Pittsburgh. So as we talk about the fidelity turning point here, look, I'm sure the Steelers would have taken a piece of paper and said, here, you'll go 3-1 without Ben Roethlisberger, sign for it.
They've been happy with that.
They would take that. So with that in mind, Trent, we'll start with you. Is this a better win or a worse loss for the Ravens or the Steelers?
I think it's a better win. I think this is a huge win from the Baltimore Ravens. Not only do you stay within, you're tied now with the Pittsburgh Steelers, but you won the game a certain way. You went out and got Anquan Bolden and TJ Hushmanzada for this football game. The ability to make big plays in the passing game in big moments. And if you notice that last drive, there's 4 completions. 2 to Bolden, 2 to Hushmanzada. Those guys get the ball in the clutch moments. That's why it's so big for the Baltimore Ravens.
And one thing that the Steelers won't do, most teams in the NFL do not do that, to create excuses and say, you know what, if we had Ben, we'd have had another 7 points. And you know what? But they would be right. Ben Roethlisberger is worth 7 points in a big game like this. But this is one of those evenly matched football games. And the one thing that Joe Flacco did is he really made the big throw in a critical moment, which he has failed to do. And to do that, boy, the type of confidence that you get from a game like that, you never know what will happen from that, but it's usually good things.
Well, keep this in mind. The Ravens are 3-1, and they have 2 huge road wins in their pocket against the Jets to start the season Monday night and now in Pittsburgh. And you mentioned without Ben, that's done. After the bye week, Ben Roethlisberger will be back and playing that home game for the Steelers against the Browns. Speaking of the Cleveland Browns, they were taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. Terrell Owens and company in town, and well, I'll tell you what, Terrell Owens had himself a day. 2nd and 13, Palmer to Owens. Sheldon Brown falls down. That rhymes. And Owens jaunts into the end zone, 78 yards. We are tied at 10. By the way, this would be a recurring theme in this highlight. 2 minutes to go, second quarter, tied at 10. Listen, I'm going to T.O., and that's another grab, and that's good for 25 yards. He is now 2nd all-time in NFL history in receiving yards, 15,231. Third quarter, it's Owens again with an 18-yard catch. His 1,025th career catch passes Isaac Bruce for 5th all-time. Early fourth quarter, the Bengals are down by 7, 3rd and 3. It's Owens again for 22. He had over 200 receiving yards, the only player in NFL history to have a receiving yards game of over 200 with 3 different teams. However, it's still a 23-20 game, and the Browns are trying to run out the clock. Peyton Hillis got him churning. Then on 3rd and 1, it's Hillis again, Merrill.
And you know what? Too much movement, too many seams, too many alleys on this Cleveland offense and against the Bengal defense. And then you got to contain any type of short yardage run, especially late in the game.
Hillis, 27 carries, 102 yards. They run out the clock, get their first win, 23-20. When we continue on NFL Primetime. It didn't look good week 1, but every week since, the Jets have gotten better and better and better. Plus, you know, Jacksonville, Florida is where they play the TPC, the Players' Championship in golf. Perhaps a timeout mulligan might have been necessary for the Colts against the Jags.
Turning Point is brought to you by
Monday Night Football live on ESPN America. Week 4 kicks off with an AFC East showdown. Division rivals square off as Brady and the Patriots head south. The battle Ricky Williams and the Miami Dolphins. Coverage starts tonight at 0100 CET with Monday NFL Countdown. Monday Night Football live on ESPN America, home of the NFL.
Hey, don't sit back there with indecision. Safeties, make a damn call. Let's go. They're back there having a damn tea party.
You okay? Huh? Didn't understand that answer. Damn. Come on, stand there, Jake.
Bring it back here. Bring it back. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Bring it all the way back. All the way back. Let's go.
Fan.
Ah, shoot. Bring it back.
Play it again. That's terrible. It's the 21st practice, and we got 8 guys leaving at the different times.
Come on, guys. This is not an exercise in futility. Holy smokes. Omar, give him the ball so he can run with it, will you, please?
They're getting tired. It's hot. They're tired, hot. They're not thinking, so it's not processing.
All right, now that's like the dumbest thing we can do. You guys understand? But that's why we're practicing. I'd rather be dome right here in the heat of Spartanburg than out on some game field in the NFL.
A player who makes the team great is better than a great player.
If the ball gets there before you, then you beat the hell out of it. But if you're on the ball like you were there, you poke for the ball. Put your hand in his hands. Yep.
On Goose versus Tampa, don't be in a hurry. Don't be in a hurry.
Let him wait.
Well, you just, that's why I say manipulate him.
Yeah.
Come off of it and then do that with the safety. Boom, and then down the middle. Okay.
Over here, over here. Oh, what the hell.
ESPN 30 for 30 looks back at the greatest comeback in baseball history. The 0-4 Red Sox improbable rally from down 3-0 to the Yankees with Mariano Rivera on the mound. 4 days in October, Tuesday night, 8 Eastern on ESPN. Jets, Bills. LaDainian Tomlinson getting things going in Buffalo, and boy, has he been good. Opening drive, Wildcat formation, Brad Smith pitched to LT, and LT burst for 13 and a first down. 2 plays later, conventional formation. It is Sanchez under center, 2. LaDainian Tomlinson gets down to the 1-yard line. He'd score on the next play. It's 7-0 Jets. Listen, they rolled him. It's 31-7 at this point. Tomlinson up the gut, 9 yards, puts him over 100 rushing yards on the day. Show me the fact bar. That's his first 100-yard rushing game in his last 26. And on the very next play, if that wasn't good enough, how about us a touchdown for LT from 26 yards away? And it was something to see as we take a look at what happened.
That's a great job of a bend back play. They get an easy release by the tight end. He got a seal here, a seal there, and a huge alley. And then all we ask you to make one guy miss, that'd be the safety. And we got ourselves a seal of approval and a touchdown, baby.
33 yards on 19 carries, and after finishing last in the NFL in yards per rusher 09, LT is averaging 6.1 yards per carry through 4 games so far with the Jets. He already has 4 rushes of 20 or more yards this season, more than he had in 14 games last season. Shockingly, the Colts and Jags went down to the wire, as it seems they always do. In fact, 5 straight meetings decide by 7 points. I'm telling you, the fact bars are never wrong. Third quarter, it's tied at 14. Well, clearly this interception is Peyton's fault. He had Brody Eldridge in the hands, and it's intercepted by Anthony Smith. The return of 47 yards to the Colts 49. Keep that in mind. That was inside the 10-yard line when that happened. Let's move ahead to the fourth quarter, shall we?
Please.
And we should point out that Reggie Wayne had a monster game. But on a 2nd and 14, Manning to Reggie Wayne, and the ball just comes out one more time inside the 10-yard line, and it's returned 43 yards this time by Gerald Alexander. So, Trent, we had 2 situations where the receivers gave up the ball deep.
But look, it's the second hit that comes in, causes the fumble. The first interception was because of a big hit. The one thing the Jags understand, you must hit these receivers in the passing game.
Which is something the Colts did not do, like there. Kelvin Hayden lets Taquan Underwood get away on a 3rd and 4, and there's a flag on the play, as you'll see. Jacob Lacey come in and lead with his head, which adds 15 yards right there.
Do that. That's deliberate.
Yes.
Can't do that.
And this is
Not
good
what you're looking for.
when Manning is on the sideline.
Oh, that's
Teddy Brewster says
for
that.
to stop doing.
Stole it from me.
Maurice Jones-Drew. No, he really didn't. Maurice Jones-Drew with the
Sounds like a
touchdown
patent
there.
issue.
I'm telling you, Teddy B had that years ago. Jaguars take a 28-21 lead, but there's time left. It came down to this. 4th and 10. Of course he's going to find Dallas Clark wide open. How does that happen? On 4th and 10, gain of 16, it's a first down. And on the very next play, I don't think he's afraid of going back to Reggie Wayne, even though he had the fumble.
Why would you?
He's not afraid of anything.
How does that guy get left open? A gain of 42. Congratulations to Pat. Peyton passes John Elway, 3rd place all-time passing yards in NFL history. And then a little rub route, Trent, for Austin Collie for the tying score.
Yeah, it's not what plays you run, it's when you run them. Simple rub concept, but Peyton Manning audibles to this because he sees the outside receiver press pre-snap. Quick roll to your right. How often do you see that? Only when he throws touchdowns in the red zone.
So it's tied at 28, under a minute to go. Here's the first play from scrimmage for the Jags when they get the ball back. They get 8 yards. And then the Jags, no, not the Jags, the Colts call a timeout.
That's not what you're looking for.
That makes no sense whatsoever. And now you get this completion here to Underwood for a first down. 18 seconds left. And here another completion.
That one hurt.
That one was brutal. That was bad.
Not as bad as this.
If you have a chance to make a play, you must
make a play.
Oh,
and how should he catch it? How should he catch it? With his
Don't
hands.
let it into your pads.
Well, right there.
See, we ask the question and we answer it.
There you go. So now with 5 seconds left, Josh Scobie's got to try a 59-yarder. Again, had that timeout not been called, there would not be 5 seconds on the clock. But give Scobie all the credit in the world. What a kick from 59 yards away. Jack Del Rio and company come up with a big win. Peyton can only walk off with a 352-yard day.
I love kickers.
Jaguars win 31-28. That is so disingenuous. It's not even close. Oh, by the way, here are the Texans and the Raiders. Now, Arian Foster did not start. Coach's decision. When he got onto the field, This was also a very good decision,
Good
Merrill.
decision to get him back on the field.
74 yards, just like that, and what was a 14-14 game has the Texans up by 7, 21-14. Later, same score, Matt Shaw play action, and this time it's Arian Foster. Nice move, and gets the run. Another nice move. The play would go for 35 yards.
Great job of making your first guy miss. Little stutter step right there. And then guess what? You know what? We got some moves. Backs have move out on the perimeter, making defensive backs move. Linebackers miss.
That would set up a Neil Racker's 35-yard field goal. That fact put in specifically for Trent Dilfer. Later in the third quarter, Foster hard running up the middle for 10 yards. It's now still in the fourth. It's 2nd and 8, and Foster's working.
Deep eye formation. Let's fake it to him. We lose him for just a second. Goes out into the flat. We got ourselves 6. You're welcome.
First time I've ever seen the cameraman follow him from the play action fake all the way through.
Texans win 31-24. Foster 16 carries, 131 yards, and 56 receiving yards. Broncos, Titans, Jeff Fisher taking on Denver and company. Second quarter, there is no score. 1st and goal. There's all kinds of movement. Flag on the play, neutral zone infraction. Titans defensive coordinator Chuck Cecil does not like it. Congratulations, that move cost you $40,000. I hope it was worth it. Broncos would score in the next play. They lead 7-0. Third quarter, after a Broncos field goal, it's 13-10. Mark Mariani. He's not one of the Molinaris that played for the Euros on the Ryder Cup team.
Nice.
He's Mark Mariani, 98 yards. Oh, and the Titans go up 17-13. Broncos red zone, well, they had 5 trips and only 2 field goals and no scores last week against the Colts. They're in the red zone again, 4th quarter, and not a Brandon Lloyd. So they're going for it on 4th down, trying to get some positive mojo, Trent.
Yeah, and this is a throwing team now, make no mistake about it, the Denver Broncos, and that's great in between the 20s, but very hard to punch in once you get down.
That's why the run and shoot no longer exists.
Yep, there was no mojo to be had. Once again, they cannot convert. After a Titans punt, 2nd and 25. Orton's throwing one deep, and, well, 3 things can happen. And one of them includes a hanky. You got to turn around, right? You got to turn around.
You got to play the ball.
Yeah.
You do have to play the ball. They look for that, and once you get into the receiver's face, almost every time they call that.
So that leads to this. Correll Buckhalter, 6-yard touchdown. They convert in the red zone, go up 23-20. Now Vince Young's thinking, okay, I'm going to get a shot. 1:33 left. We're in good shape. I got 2 timeouts. Until, of course, this happens on the kick. Mariani, well, he was better last time. He tried to field this one on the bounce. No good. Broncos recover, get a field goal. They win 26-20. You know, I mentioned the Molinaris.
Yeah, you did.
Alternate shots apply at the Ryder Cup.
Yes.
And alternate wins and losses continue for the San Diego Chargers. Plus, the good people of St. Louis, Missouri. It is called a winning streak, and you finally got one. And with Bradford in town, you might want to get used to it.
The New York Jets had the league's top-ranked defense in 2009. The Green Machine held opponents under 15 points a game and allowed just 8 passing touchdowns. Leading the way is All-Pro cornerback Darrelle Revis, who some think is the best player in the NFL. But before offenses take a shot at Revis Island, they have to deal with linebacker Bart Scott. Scott is constantly flying around the ball and is coming off a 92-tackle season.
I hustle, because true passion is earned one practice at a time. I respect those who say without discipline there is no glory. I push to be at the top of my class, not just the top of my game. I play to make the last pass, not just the final shot. I challenge those who say it's about me and not about we. I win when we all do. I connect at iHoops, the official youth basketball initiative of the NCAA and the NBA. Connect at ihoops.com.
Welcome to the show. The ball has to be hit at least 95 meters to get it over the fence. Sometimes that's not enough. You have to run over 27 meters to steal a base, but you can't push your luck. 18 meters separate the mound from home plate. For many, it's longer than they think. In the end, it all measures up to one.
MLB, all season long on ESPN America.
With all the success that Adrian was having, it was getting tough to juggle his schedule, so we got him an assistant.
If I can get you to sign that, that'd be great. And oh, by the way, for Mom's birthday, perfect.
We had to get someone who could anticipate his every need.
Yeah. Knock, knock. Which one?
Bike me.
Done.
Your 3 p.m. is waiting.
When you hit that next level, man, there aren't enough hours in the day.
He'll be with you when he's with you.
Sports Center, weekdays at 0700 CET on ESPN America.
Watching NFL Primetime, delivered by Papa John's.
Primetime rolls on. Lions and Packers. Aaron Rodgers, well, he was looking good early, and the Lions, of course, do not do well on the road. They're up 14-7. You want to talk about a perfect throw.
That's the definition of a dime right there.
Perfect throw to Greg Jennings. 17 yards and a touchdown. Rodgers 12-17, $1.81 3 scores. Then there is Calvin Johnson. Megatron. 23-yard score right there. How did that happen, Trent?
I love switch releases to get your big receiver open. See how they switch responsibilities, changes layers in the defense, makes the corner feel like he's pushed out. Now you can run the post, flatten it out. Nice concept by the Lions.
It certainly worked. 12 seconds left in the first half. They're down 21-7. Megatron. And look at this. Completion of the catch, Merrill, all the way through, baby.
That's right, and we secured it, baby. And guess what? That's right, it's a touchdown.
So they're only down 21-14 at the half, and then the Packers really kept them in it. Third quarter, that's intended for Greg Jennings, and it's intercepted by Chris Houston, but it led to a Lions field goal. Packers lead down to 8. Later, it's 28-23, Jordy Nelson. Oh, big hit, and it's recovered by the Lions. It led to another Lions field goal.
Field goal.
So it's down 3.
I want to say touchdown.
Well, believe me, they want to say that in Detroit, too. You want to see a touchdown? Say a touchdown. Say it after the interception here by the reigning NFL Defensive Player of the Year, Charles
Woodson gets a diving touchdown.
By the way, the 10th career pick six in his career, 3rd all-time behind Darren Sharper and Rod Woodson. Final drive of the game. Do not go where Charles Woodson is. Swatted away.
Outstanding coverage, boy. Sitting down, sinking his hips, getting out of the break with the wide receiver. You don't see that very often.
Do not go where Charles Woodson is. Broken up, no flag thrown. Pack runs out the clock, and they escape. 28-26. And now, ladies and gentlemen, something we like to call westbound and down. Listen, Kenny Powers not available, but the point we're making, the NFC West,
I protest this whole
Go ahead, but the stats will bear us out. It hasn't been great. Sam Bradford trying to snap a 10-game losing streak the Rams had to the Seahawks. First quarter, Bradford scanning the field and laser shot to Brandon Gibson, Trent Dilfer.
You say laser, I say dime. Check this out. Eyes right, manipulating the defense. Gets to the top of his drop, threads it in there. Talk about accuracy and ball speed. That's as good as throw you'll see.
I told you in Oklahoma he had accuracy.
Bradford,
I told you.
23 of 41, 289 and 2 scores. And how about the Rams defense? Just all over Matthew Hasselbeck.
Last 2 weeks they have dominated the line of scrimmage. Flat dominated. Washington, now Seattle.
Yeah, 4 down linemen there. Spins off 1 tackle for the free shot. Hall does, James Hall. And then there's George Selvey. Flying through the air. But really, there are sacks and then there are coverage sacks, Trent.
Yeah, nice job by the Rams secondary, covering up all these West Coast concept, intermediate stuff, the vertical stuff as well, allowing the St. Louis Rams defensive front to get to Matthew Hasselbeck.
Oh, and they got to him. Later in the fourth, Matthew trying to get it going, and James Hall brings pressure, strips Hasselbeck, and Fred Robbins gobble, gobble, gobble. They brought the pressure all day long, and the Rams go on to win 20-3. All right, Chargers and Cardinals. Well, you know,
this could be a humdinger right here.
Antonio Gates is pretty good, right?
Yep. You want to cover him, right?
I would think that would be the case.
All the time.
Wherever he's on the field, find him and keep somebody. Whoa.
Whoa.
Okay. How did that happen?
We got a little wheel route here. You get a Gates on a safety, and you got to quit looking at the quarterback eventually and turn and run.
That's a safety on a tight end. You'd think the safety would be in good shape.
How about a linebacker?
Let's try linebacker Paris Lennon, Trent.
Yeah, I don't like this matchup if I'm the Arizona Cardinals. And you have no safety help. This is ridiculous coverage scheme on Antonio Gates. He's going to beat that 100 out of 100 times.
7 grabs, 144 yards, and 2 scores. And now congratulations, by the way, to Sean Phillips, who had himself a game and a half. That's one of his 4 sacks right there, setting up 3rd and long. And now Anderson is picked off by Sean Phillips. Sean Phillips, the only guy that we can think of since 1982 when sacks became an official stat, with 4 and a touchdown in the game.
Good week to have the Chargers D in fantasy.
That is
like
correct.
I did.
Anderson was benched. Max Hall came in. The Chargers went 41-10. Now, listen, this is the NFC West. You have 3 teams tied for first at 2-2, and the only team that isn't tied for first is 0-4, and they were the team that everybody thought was going to win the division. Oh, by the way, the Cardinals are tied for first place, and their point differential is -60.
Jeez.
They have given up 60 more points than they have scored, and they're in a 3-way tie for first place.
That's
Hence
sad.
the term westbound and down.
Loading up and trucking.
We're going to do what they say can't be done. We got a long way to go, Merrill. Short time to get there. So we're just going to drop off some game balls here on Primetime.
NFL Primetime.
Monday Night Football live on ESPN America. Week 4 kicks off with an AFC East showdown. Yeah. Division rivals square off as Brady and the Patriots head south. The battle Ricky Williams and the Miami Dolphins. Coverage starts tonight at 0100 CET with Monday NFL Countdown. Monday Night Football live on ESPN America, home of the NFL.
I'm just thankful to be here, and thank God again. Thank you all. I appreciate it so much. Thank you.
Tim's got the ability to make the level of play of everyone else around him better.
You know, it got pretty emotional, and then running out, it was special. It's a memory that I'll always have.
In the 2010 NFL Draft, the Denver Broncos select Tim Tebow.
Josh McDaniels went out and bought a $200 bottle of wine.
The Bronco coaching staff are excited about leadership skill set.
You know, not everybody has to like you. Only one team has to like you.
Tim Tebow has been called many names. Tim Tremendous, the Mile High Messiah, and Timmy Today. But there's one name he's eager to hear more: quarterback. The Heisman Trophy winner enters his rookie season looking to quiet critics and reward Denver for making him a first-round pick. With Tebow's strong arm, toughness, and leadership skills, Broncos fans may want to start setting their watches. Not for Colorado's standard mountain time, but for Tebow time.
Anyone?
Super.
Are we on the air?
You've got to be kidding me.
Sports Nation, only on ESPN America.
Is delivered by PapaJohns.com. Just a click of the mouse. Papa's in the house.
All right, it is time to hand out the game balls, ladies and gentlemen, for Week 4. And let's just start this week with who, Trent Dilfer?
Why wouldn't you go Joe Flacco? Biggest game of the weekend, comes up with the biggest throws at the biggest times. That's why we give game balls. Joe Flacco.
That makes sense. Merrill?
After possibly throwing the game away, he steps back on the field and makes a big-time throw. This one right here to get him in position to win. My ball goes to Matt Ryan.
Well, I'm going to go with the game ball to the guy who kicked the game winner and did it by kicking the ball. This is for Trent Dilfer, who bashed all the kickers last week. Josh Scobie's 59-yarder, only the third longest game-winning field goal in NFL history when time had expired. Josh Scobie, in honor of Trent Dilfer bashing all the kickers last week.
And they deserved it all.
No, and keep in mind, the other guy on the field that doesn't get hit, like the kicker, these
quarterback.
Guys, they stand around with the pink jersey on.
In other words, what you're saying is,
know it.
Kickers and quarterbacks have more in common than that guy
Thank you.
is ever going to.
Thank you.